Okay, I thought I'd do an exciting intro as best I could to our next theory lesson, your next theory lesson. So last week I did that lesson talking about major scales and stuff, and what I was playing then was a little bit relevant, not hugely. I guess I just wanted to shred out a little bit, get you all motivated, motivate myself even. No, I'm kidding. I don't need any motivation for this. You are the motivation. I'm talking too much. Let's get on with the lesson. So last week we did, I introduced you to the major scales and explained why we have them, how we use them, and we kind of got to a point where I was talking about how the key of G requires F sharp to fit in with the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone pattern that makes a major scale, okay? Which is like a basic footprint for most of the music that we listen to or hear. So last week we talked, we did the straight line scales. So hopefully you've practiced that. And then we did it from G and we could see that we needed an F sharp. Now, if we do it from D, we're going to need an F sharp and a C sharp and so on. Now, today I want to talk about the cycle of fifths. The cycle of fifths is essentially what this is all about. But what we're doing, the reason last week I said, what about from G? We get an F sharp. The reason I went to G was I knew that we would only be introducing one new sharp, okay? And that was F sharp. Now, if I go from G and we look at what the fifth note is from G, G, A, B, C, D. Again, that's in tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone. That's what the fifth note is. It has to be within that structure to be called the fifth note. If it fell short, it would be a flat 5. If it was one above it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we went above that, we'd call that a sharp 5, okay? So that's just a little bit of reiteration on what we talked about in the last lesson. But when we play from our fifth, 2, 3, 4, 5, that scale right there is as close as you're going to get to the key of G major with minimal change. So if we look at D and we keep the F sharp, okay, we're going to get a D, tone to E. Now, if you remember correctly, E to F was a semitone previously, but we're going to go to F sharp because we're referencing the key of G. Then we go a semitone to G. Then we go tone to A, tone to B. Now, if we stayed in G, we'd be going up to a C, okay? But we need a tone here. We need the C sharp if we're going to be playing in the key of D, okay? So the only change we need to make is the C sharp when coming from a G scale to a D scale, okay? So the point I'm making here is when we go up a fifth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's the closest key, and to get the correct major scale, we'll only need to add one sharp. That is why we have a thing called the cycle of fifths. The cycle of fifths allows us to introduce one sharp at a time, okay? I'm not sure what this is about. I am half Italian, by the way, so the hand movements are necessary. So from D, then the fifth would be A. Now, if we go from A, we're only going to need to add one more sharp, which is going to be a G sharp to get A major, okay? So what we've got so far, when we go from C, I'm going to start playing the scales across now because hopefully you understand why we what notes we're getting when we do the tone, tone, semitone thing. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If we want a major scale from G, we're getting an F sharp. If we want a major scale from D, we're getting an F sharp and a C sharp. If we want it from A, I'm just going to tell you, we're going to get an F sharp, a C sharp, and a G sharp. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. If we go from E, which is the next 5 up from A, okay, we're going to get an F sharp, a C sharp, a G sharp, and a D sharp. Every time we do this, we take the 7th degree and we raise it, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Previously was a D. We're going to need a D sharp now for our major scale. So the key of E has F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, and D sharp. We're going to go another fifth. We're going to play from B, okay? B, so just to prove that to you, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But let's do it back here. Now, I know you're thinking, whoa, man, slow down. I'm going to walk you through all these again a little slower. Well, I'm going to walk you through the one shape properly, and you're going to play through all these, and you'll be by the end of this video, you'll be able to play through your entire cycle of fifths with at least one octave, okay? Okay, so we go to B, we get F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and now we need an A sharp. B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, okay? Then we go to F sharp, and because that's up 5, F sharp, again, same series, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, A sharp, but now we need an E sharp. So yeah, it's a horrible key, I know. F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, let's try that again. F sharp, C sharp. My apologies. The notes here: F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp. Yeah, horrible key, horrible key. You don't really want to think too hard about these things when you're actually improvising. You want to be well practiced, put it that way. Okay, so that's as far as we go in the cycle of fifths. And again, you can see that all it's really doing is moving this shape into the different places. There's obviously all these in-betweens we're skipping. That's where the flat keys are going to come in handy. That's next lesson. So what I want you to do is get this shape right, okay? If I start from C, and I'm thinking of each finger having its own lane, we start with our second finger here, pinky here, first finger here, second finger here, pinky here, first finger here, third finger, pinky. Okay, so 3. Now, if I call the fingers and you move across as you go, it's going to go 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. And then do it backwards. 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2. That shape is the same for every major scale, okay, that we're going to do today. Problem is, if we were to do a G from, well, we do G here from here, right? G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. If I do G from here, okay, are we going to get the same shape? Let's see. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. No, we're not getting it. That's why. What? That's because when you tune your guitar, you go E, A, D, G. That's all moving in fourths, okay? E, F, G, A, E, F, G, A. So that's the fourth. A, B, C, D. So A, B, C, D. Also the fourth. Did I say A to D? Yes. D to G is a fourth. You'll just take my word for it now. G to B is a third. It's a semitone weaker. Let's think of it as weaker. We'll use emotional words to help us remember these things. So when we're playing a pattern that we've learnt here, and we do it here, we have to move up a semitone. We have to compensate for that. Okay, so I'm going 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, shift up a semitone, 1, 3, 4. So the shape didn't change, it just got displaced a little bit, okay? So a little bit of backstory on why the shape doesn't look familiar all over the guitar. So if you want to apply it elsewhere from that kind of second finger vantage, it will change at that point. And then obviously anytime we have anything to do with the second string, it kind of throws the mix out. The second string to the first string returns back to the fourth movement, but we've already been pushed up. So that relationship remains the same. So if we're playing G major from this string, G, A, B, C, D, that's fine. That's exactly the same as G, A, B, C, D. So hopefully this is helping you map out the guitar a little better. And there's, like I mentioned last time, there's been a lot of time spent working on this stuff and teaching this stuff and trying to communicate it. And also just understanding it myself, there's been a lot of time that's gone into these perspectives. So I hope you find it really useful. If I were you this week, I'd be practicing through those scales. I'm going to put the cycle of fifths in the description, okay, which each key has. Next week, we're going to do the cycle of fourths. And then eventually we're going to do the 2-octave scale, so where you play right across, okay? And we're going to get into how that looks and where all the notes are and where the tones repeat, etc. But yeah, hopefully there's your next theory lesson 2 for psychobillies and rockabillys, or theory for psychos, whatever you want to call it. You know what? They're just theory lessons for anybody. So yeah, share it with your friends who may have theory questions. Thanks for watching. Please support the Patreon. I'm going to put some of this material up there as well. Yeah, and it would help me eat more often. No, I'm joking. It's not like that. But thanks for watching. See you later.